Time tincture. Time tincture is the key ingredient for today's preparation. It's something coveted by all, indispensable for navigating life's daily pitfalls. Ah, of course. Some of us are already so charming that we don't need such artifices. But for others, today, my dear wizards and witches, muggles and squibs, we will talk about something that, if handled carefully, can bring you luck in any endeavor. Felix Felicis, also known as liquid luck. I'm always your charming adventurer wizard, Quentin Henterman. And now I will complete my...
Towards the end of the 15th century, somewhere amidst the British Isles, a child was born, whose remarkable creations would forever alter and innovate the wizarding world. His name was Zygmunt Budge. His mother showed little affection for the boy, often calling him Fungus Face and criticizing his appearance. Despite enduring a lonely childhood, young Zygmunt unexpectedly found solace in his great-grandmother, a distressingly giggly witch whose cheerful demeanor contrasted sharply with Zygmunt's serious and introspective nature, shaped by the lack of parental warmth. She took an interest in potion making and passed down to him an ancient recipe for the laughing potion, hoping to bring joy and lightness into her young grandson's life. Accepted into Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Zygmunt was sorted between 1501 and 1594, though his house remains unknown, with many speculating Ravenclaw. During his early years at Hogwarts, Zygmunt finally felt at home in a place he could truly call his own. A particularly amusing incident from his time at school involved a rival student accidentally spilling love potion on himself, leading him to develop an infatuation with their elderly potions professor, a memory Zygmunt cherished, often recalling it when brewing his laughing potion. By the age of 14, Zygmunt had risen to the top of his class in potions, owing much to his great-grandmother's teachings. He even corrected his professor on the proper use of mackled malaclaw tails in potion making.
I think you're wrong.
Fueled by his achievements, Zygmunt felt ready to enter the Wizarding School's Potions Championship, a biennial event dating back to 1407, honoring Quintia MacQuoid, a renowned potioneer who tragically perished due to a botched cure for ague. However, despite his eagerness, the headmaster refused Zygmunt's request to compete, deeming it too perilous for someone not yet 17. The enchanted garden where the championship took place was fraught with challenges. Creatures like trolls, gigantic serpents, and banshees, all of which contestants had to overcome using various potions. Furious, Zygmunt decided to drop out of school at once in protest. He considered Hogwarts to have been the school that sought to stifle his brilliance as a potioneer, and never regretted his decision. Returning to his former solitude, Zygmunt honed his potion-making skills with a singular goal: to win the championship and prove his talent, making Hogwarts rue their misjudgment. Yet, upon turning 17, he faced the stringent wizarding world bureaucracy anew. Only students representing a school could enter the championship, and leaving Hogwarts had rendered him ineligible.
I can't believe this.
Frustrated and embittered, Zygmunt fled to a remote island, Hermitrae in the Outer Hebrides, inhabiting a rat-infested shack with only sheep for company and potion testing. After creating a potent shrinking solution, Zygmunt accidentally spilled it, shrinking his entire flock to tiny proportions, which he used as earmuffs for the chilly winters. Years passed. Zygmunt remained a recluse, dedicating himself solely to conducting experiments, perfecting formulas, and inventing new concoctions. His unwavering goal remained unchanged from his hopeful youth: to establish himself as the greatest potioneer of all time.
Ah, there you are, my beloved viewers. Fear not, I'll be quicker than a golden snitch. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here for this episode of the Spellbook Chronicles. And if you think Quentin Pentagon is charming enough to deserve your generous support, you might consider leaving a like. And I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell icon to make sure you don't miss a single episode. Oh, but if you are wizards and witches truly hungry for knowledge, you might consider joining the channel for just a couple of galleons. Every month, you will be guaranteed priority access to all new videos on the channel. Plus, you will be rewarded every month with new exclusive special content just for you. So, what are you waiting for?
Driven by obsession, he created and refined some of the wizarding world's most potent potions. One such creation was the Beautification Potion, originally devised by Malodora Grimm, a hag from the Middle Ages, to deceive a king into marriage by enhancing her appearance. Zygmunt developed his own version, testing it on himself. Though effective only on humans or creatures with human-like features, it proved to be quite the attraction for Muggle women, who soon found themselves circling his deserted island home in small boats. He also formulated a doxycide to combat the fall swarms of doxies infesting Hermitre. His initial attempt, however, backfired, making the creatures red-hot and setting fire to both his house and the island. Forced to spend the night at sea, Zygmunt perfected his doxycide by the next autumn, annihilating the entire swarm and disposing of their remains in the sea. Despite his success as a potioneer, perfecting drafts like the sleeping potion and cure for boils, Zygmunt knew deep down he had yet to create his Magnum Opus. Reflecting on past rejections and nursing resentment from his youth, he sought to forge a potion capable of shaping destiny, a potion to sway luck and chance to his favor. Thus was born Liquid Luck, Felix Felicis. Crafted meticulously, this potion had the power to transform the mundane into the extraordinary, ensuring every endeavor the drinker undertook ended in resounding success. However, its creation was no simple task, requiring a complex brewing process spanning 6 laborious months to achieve its potent form. Yet, despite its remarkable benefits, Felix Felicis was not without risks. Its potency demanded careful consumption, as excess intake could lead to a cascade of effects, from giddiness and recklessness to dangerous overconfidence. Moreover, its potency extended beyond its intended effects, carrying toxicity in large doses, posing a serious threat to those who dared exceed moderation. Due to its formidable capabilities and potential for misuse, Felix Felicis was banned from organized competitions and events, including the revered sport of Quidditch. Its prohibition emphasized the need to uphold integrity and fairness within the wizarding world, condemning all forms of cheating and manipulation. Having achieved his life's goal, Zygmunt Budge dedicated himself to transcribing his knowledge and discoveries into the Book of Potions, a masterpiece intended as his legacy for future generations of potion makers. Skilled in charm work, he enchanted his tome to reflect some of his personality and imbue it with several powerful enchantments. This final ingenious act allowed Zygmunt to choose and assist a promising potioneer to represent him in the Wizarding School's Potions Championship, even beyond his death. Despite his animosity towards Hogwarts, Zygmunt had never truly abandoned his childhood dream. The champion he selected would later create one of the most potent potions known, the legendary potion of all potential. Invented during the 21st Century Championship under the influence of Felix Felicis, it realized all that is best in us, enabling the drinker to achieve their utmost potential. In the end, we can say that Zygmunt Budge had finally achieved his vindication.
Excuse me, my devoted viewers, but the brilliant Quentin Pendragon was engrossed in reading. A reading that has proven disastrously futile, as here I was hoping to stumble upon some notes left by the Half-Blood Prince, an urban legend, I suppose. But Quentin Pendragon does not give up, not even in the face of a Hungarian horntail, and I will try again, and again, until my personal Felix Felicis has been distilled. Although then, what could I use it for? Perhaps I could make things easier for myself, to win the heart of Lady Genevieve. Although, I imagine selling it to Nocturnally could earn me quite a few galleons. My dear wizards, witches, muggles, and squibs, for what purpose would you use Liquid Luck? Write it in the comments. Maybe to pass the Transfiguration exam without having to study a whole month. Or perhaps to meet the charming Quentin Pendragon. But fear not, because I'm always here, waiting for you in the next episode of the Spellbook Chronicles.
2 minutes later.
Yes, I did it!